If you missed out on your January 1st reset, this is a Lunar New Year reset for you. So I love January 1st reset. It's always caught up in the chaos of holidays, travel, and family, and you really don't have any time for yourself to sit down and reflect, because I really do think this takes a couple days. So step one for Lunar New Year, it's a very typical tradition to clean your house. And I mean a deep clean as much as you can before Lunar New Year actually comes, because once the day comes, you're not doing any more cleaning, because it's superstitious, as if you're sweeping out the good luck that's coming in and the good fortune that's coming in. And cleaning before symbolizes sweeping out the old energy, letting room for the new to come in, because a clear clutter equals a clear mind, and who doesn't want that for resetting for the new year? So if you want to combine some east and west, what I love to do as a yogi woo-woo girl is sage the place to clear out the old energy, and also Palo Santo to invite new energy in. If you're seeing this right now, seriously pause and go clean your place, because I know I'm uploading this quite late. You can always come back to this video and rewatch whenever you like. Second is time to reflect on your year. What went well, what didn't, and what you really missed out on that you regret. There's different ways to do this, and to each their own, but I have really liked Mel Robbins' best year workbook that she's put out every year, because it really gives me the chance to go through exactly what's happened. Long story short is you go through your photos throughout the whole year, starting from January 1st, and you write down what has been monumental throughout the months, and maybe you realize what you missed out on. It really encourages you to look at all the moments that you captured on your camera, because I think if it's on your camera roll, there's probably a reason that you captured it, and so it's worth thinking about what happened in that moment and look back and reflect, because so much happens in a year that you don't even realize. The small daily stuff is what adds up. P.S. This is also great for your yearly photo dump on Instagram. I know it's really shallow, but you know, two birds, one stone, who doesn't love doing that? And I think this part really takes some time. It might take a couple hours, it might even take over a course of a few days. Grief might come up, regret might surface, so really give yourself some time and space, and don't rush through this, even if you feel the pressure to do that. Step 3, the new year is super exciting. It feels like we can turn away the page and wash away the old, but I feel like most of us are trying to build on top of a messy system that has just like aggregated year over year. We're always like, new year, new me, new goals, I'm gonna get it this year, and then you look back and you're like, what happened? I have no idea. And this is why we reflect to see what happened, but also create a system that really sets us in place. So instead of just setting goals once again, we're going to reset and create a system. The fourth and last step, which is probably the most challenging, I have to say. So I have taken my frameworks and advice from a myriad of resources from my 30 years of age, unfortunately. And so it's time to sit down, think about your goals, and well, bitch, get it done. Actually ask yourself, what do I want out of this year? Not what it looks like, not what should it look like, not what sounds impressive, and not what other people are doing, because it's very easy to follow the crowd and forget what you're here to do. And seriously, don't limit yourself. This is the time to dream big. This is the time to be absolutely fucking delulu. Be so delusional that people doubt you so hard. And that's kind of the fun in this as well. Don't worry about the why or the what if or the how right now. Just think and dream big as if you had no limits on yourself. And I think that's what really unlocks this mental change in our brain. So now you're gonna break it down into must-haves and nice-to-haves. Must-haves are the non-negotiables when you look back in the year and you feel absolutely devastated that you missed out on this. So for instance, for me was the MBA program. I knew this was a dream of mine for most of my adult life, and moving to Asia has been a dream since I've been 10 years old. Nice-to-haves are things that you want, but maybe aren't the highest priority on your list. So for example, my must-haves are my health, my career or internal fulfillment, adventure, and supporting the people that I love. And some nice to have, just as a few examples, is a dog. I would love to have a dog after my last dog, but there's no way in my current stage of life that I can raise a little puppy, and it would not be fair to them. Another one is I wish I could drone more. I know this sounds so stupid and ridiculous, but it's been a hobby of mine for I think the past 10 years, and I have not gotten better, and I just haven't prioritized it, and I'm okay with that. Now write down this list and seriously write it down, like physically see it in front of you so you can imagine and materialize the things, and maybe even speak it out loud to yourself. Don't worry about the order yet, and I'll do the same with my goals with you right here. And honestly, when I look back at my life, my goals really don't change all that much. And they haven't in the past like 4 years. You know, more fulfilled career, be healthy, be a good partner and sister. The larger picture really has not changed all that much. And I don't really think it should. It's more the what and the how of what really changes. Okay, so we have our goals, and now we're gonna break it down and build the system. The best one I can personally resonate with and make crystal clear for this video is running a marathon. I know another fucking runner, but hear me out. I swear it actually will be very helpful for this. So for example, if your goal is to run a marathon, you don't just sign up one day and do it. I mean, maybe you can, but most people are not doing that, right? You need a training plan, short runs, long runs, hill runs, sprint runs, recovery days, and a really good pair of sneakers. So that's a lot to process, despite what the haters might say about running. And this is when we come back from La La Land and be so fucking for real. It's your time to figure out what training plan and sticking to it. Don't over-process it either. A lot of times we get stuck in the process and do a ton of research thinking that it's getting us closer to the goal, but it's really not at the end of the day. You're just wasting time trying to perfect the process while actually not creating and setting up the goal that you did. For instance, for me, it's starting a company. I've done so much research, but no action. And guess what? I don't have a company right now. So get really, really specific. I mean, where are you gonna do your short runs? Where are you gonna do your long runs? What staircase are you gonna run? What specific hill are you gonna run on? What time of day are you gonna do this? And put it in your calendar and block it out based on the times that you think. I know this sounds really anal, but if it's not on your calendar, I will personally not do it. So whatever your goal is, whether that's starting a business, getting into grad school, moving across the world into a different country, healing your mind, heart, and body, whatever it is, you need a system set up to make you successful. Because I genuinely don't think at the end of the day, people are unmotivated or lazy at all. I think it's because they haven't built the infrastructure for their success based on their criteria and their current conditions. And I'm personally so guilty of this. Vision boarded in my life so many times and then not design the daily habits that actually fulfill that dream life. And this is why I'm hopefully helping you design a system that actually helps you get to your goals. Because the more people that achieve our goals, I think truly we'd all be a little bit happier. And the world needs that right now. So get back to your goals, individually list the hows under each goal, when and where for each, and start to see that calendar populate over the next year. When you start noticing your calendar get full, I think that's when you start to realize the things that are currently taking up time aren't actually worth your time. And if they are, then that's when you have to reprioritize and reset your goals to make it work. And make sure that at the end of the year, when you look back, you did everything that you wanted to do. And I think putting it all in your calendar and seeing this all come to life written down really helps you see who you're becoming. And for me, that is the biggest mental shift. People tend to focus on the goals, the what and the how, like I just told you to do, but underlying all those dreams and tasks is the bigger question. Who am I becoming and who do I want to be? Because identity drives behavior and behaviors drive outcomes. When I first started training for the marathon, I was absolutely insane. I never ran in high school. I was always one of the last people doing the mile. I never ran in my adult life. But one day I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna run 26 miles by my 26th birthday. And that's exactly what I did. I ran it 3 months after my 26th birthday. And I did everything I just went through with you. But the hardest part was telling myself I am a runner. I can run and I will run. And this doesn't happen overnight either. It's a daily thought you have to overcome beyond all of your doubts that you are probably constantly having. So if you still see yourself as unorganized, chaotic, procrastinating, and just lazy, no systems will stick because you're constantly fighting the inner battle of overcoming your thoughts and your habitual patterns, which is a lot to do. And it's not easy at all. So take your time to think about who you want to be and eventually be the person that achieves all these goals what feels like seamlessly. And this is something I truly believe in. And you can't do it if you have friction, which is my last point of this exercise. Once you have designed a system, you need to figure out any friction points within the system and literally write down frictions under each how and what. So under each how, under each goal, so now you have a nested list of like so many things to do, but trust me, it's gonna be helpful. You're gonna write down any potential frictions that are gonna get in your way. So back to the running example, you might not do the run that you scheduled in your calendar. Okay, so what do? Let's get an accountability buddy to do this with you. What if it's raining so much, just like it is in Singapore right now, or it's brick as fuck outside? Can you find a gym that has a treadmill? Can you find an indoor track? Have that as your backup and plan B in the event of these things happening. Okay, what if you had a bad night's sleep? I think this is one of the non-negotiables that you really do have to schedule in your sleep. I know it sounds crazy. My sleep is on my calendar. Do I follow it every day? Absolutely not. Things get in the way. But it's an actual reminder that is a priority for me and that is something that I need to be really taken care of. So find out where there could be any potential leaks in your time, your energy, your focus, and really plug that shit up. And this is the year of the fire horse, where energy is not a problem, but energy without direction is absolute chaos and insanity. And this is someone who has endless energy and have been a little bit directionless for a while, so take it from me. Now, I specifically didn't focus on a single tool for this video because I really don't think the tools matter in this case. It's really about breaking down your inner mental state and like who you're trying to become. So you could even do it with pen and paper, you could do it in your Apple Notes, you could do it in Notion like I have, or have like a million Zapier integrations if you want to go all out. Just set up whatever makes sense for you, and I can also make a video about that in the future. And so this is why I love Lunar New Year. Besides the food and the traditions, it's another chance for me to reset after January 1st and really take account into everything that's happened. It's a time not to reinvent yourself, but to realign. And so I hope you do it with me this year. Tell me about your goals and who you're trying to become, and I'll hold you accountable and follow up next year.